Hey there, YouTube. How y'all doing on this lovely Monday? Shoot, I was up here packing up, about to get ready to head back home finally. Can't wait to see my babies. I'm pretty sure they're gonna be more than happy to see that mommy's back home. I bought me a little cat hoodie, with a little kangaroo like pouch where both of them could sit in the hoodie when I'll be walking around or whatever. I'm pretty sure they'll probably like it. I hope they like it because I'd be tired of spending money on their little spoiled asses just for them to get tired of toys and shit like that. Like, for real, I ain't got no kids right now. They're my kids. So, look, if I buy y'all something for Christmas and for all of this, y'all better play with this shit. Anyways, that was a whole sidebar. How y'all doing? So, I'm going to jump straight into the topic or whatever. Hopefully, it won't be too long. It'll be straight cut to the point. But I wanted to talk about the topic of like suicide. Somebody asked me to talk about it, so I'm gonna talk about it. Now, if I happen to, get all teary-eyed or some shit like that, it is what it is because, I have lost, people that I've known close to me to it. So, and I myself, at one point in my younger days, this is before I realized that my mom was a narcissist and, what the fuck I was dealing with and how dysfunctional everyone around me was, how toxic the environment I grew up was. Like, literally, I was surrounded by insanity. And the only thing that kept me sane, I could say, is God, the universe, shit. Because there's been many times that I just, wanted to break. Growing up, I know, I'm gonna just tell y'all my personal experience. Like, the only reason why I'm still around is because of my best friend. Of course, a lot of people don't even know this. Not even my own fucking family members knew that as a teenager, I was on the verge of going to commit suicide. I was. And I'll tell you why. One, my mom is a narcissist. And anybody who has a narcissistic parent, you know how abusive and cold-hearted these people can be. They're two-faced than a motherfucker. Anytime relatives or friends were around, my mom was a fucking angel. But when no one else was around, I danced with the devil. And I always got hurt. I always did. I couldn't laugh, I couldn't smile, and then if I had moments of joy, damn, I feel myself getting all teary-eyed, because I told y'all this about to be a sensitive topic and shit, because it reminds me of like the people that I loved and care about they're gone, but I know that they live on in spirit, you know what I'm saying? I got my own mission to fulfill here on earth, that's why I'm still alive, but yeah, so basically, my best friend is crazy. I didn't have the words to describe the level of abuse that I was enduring. Emotional abuse, psychological abuse, spiritual abuse, and mind you, I didn't know that, my mom struck fear in me. Well, you know what? If you tell those people that I'm beating you or that I'm starving you or that I'm doing this, that, and the third, you're going to end up in foster care. And, listening to my mom, at a younger age, I believed her manipulations that no one else could love me. Like I'm this unlovable person. I'm this person that nobody likes. People just put on the front, they just smile and act like they like me when they don't. And my first heartbreak was actually my mother. Realizing that she is my enemy instead of my ally. The very person that I come from wants to see me destroyed. And that's sad. It's very, very sad. I was mind boggled for years, exes of mine, their mothers, I didn't talk to them about the interactions with me and my mom. They all came to the same conclusion that my mother is jealous of me, but I still couldn't wrap my mind around like why would my mom be jealous of me? Like, I couldn't grasp what the fuck, right? But anyways, this is what I mean by like the abuse, like particularly for teenagers and kids. Like, you know, people when I sit there, I don't know if y'all heard, but Regina, what's her name? Regina something. Anyways, her son committed suicide recently. Me and a friend had a discussion about it, and this is what brought up the topic about suicide, because I believe her son, I think he left a daughter, and I can't remember if he was married or whatever, but point is, like, she was so surprised that her son committed suicide. You can't be surprised because, I mean, you know, I'm not going to say that, how do I put it? I mean, it's like when Robin Williams committed suicide, everybody was shocked. Why? Because he was laughing, smiling, and all of that. You know that, like, just because a person is laughing and smiling and all that doesn't mean that they actually feel that way. It's more of like a facade, you know. They could be deeply hurt and going through some shit on the inside. You don't really know a person's inner world. You only know what they show you. And this is why, me personally, I'm gonna start charging motherfuckers for therapy, because y'all want to call me up with your problems. I ain't got no problem. I want to be that ear, because if by chance I can save your life and make you know that somebody cares about you, that somebody loves you, that, you know, words of affirmation go a long way. Words can save a person's life. And I can tell you that. I'm getting all teary-eyed and shit. But for real. I already said that if I start crying, it is what it is. It's a sensitive topic for me because, like I said before, I know people who committed suicide, and I myself, I was at that place years ago. I wouldn't even be alive to this day if it wasn't for my best friend. So going through all the abuse that I went through with my mother, I understand it now. But at the time, I was in a lot of pain. A lot of pain psychologically because she was playing mind games with me, mind fucking me. You realize that brain damage to some extent can occur when you're raised in an environment like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Again, words hurt. My mom always, you know, you're worthless, you're useless. You know, you can't do nothing right. I wish you were never born. I wish I never had you. You know, that's very hurtful to hear from your fucking parent. And so in my mind at the time, it's like, well, if that's how the fuck you feel, and mind you, I didn't even know my purpose at the time. So it's like, well, what the fuck is my purpose? Why the fuck am I here on planet fucking Earth if I'm so useless, worthless, and I'm unlovable? Why am I here? So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna end it. I'm tired of, I couldn't describe the level of pain that I was going through because I was going through it mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. The worst of it, I would say, would be spiritually, because as long as I would be spiritually in line and in tune with, you know, God or whatever, I would have been all right mentally and emotionally and everything else across the board. But when you have somebody that is continuously breaking you down, you know, breaking your self-esteem, breaking your confidence, they don't respect you, you know what I'm saying? Basically, you're not treated as human. You know what I'm saying? They treat you human enough to make it seem like they're normal or that they're not abusive. Because again, this all goes behind closed doors. You know, a lot of my friends would always see the house, the cars, the neighborhood, and this and that, and all this other shit that my mom would do. She's a fucking narc. She never loved me. I was an object. I was a pawn. I was used to make her look good. The only words I ever wanted to hear my mom say was, I'm so proud of you. I love you. Now, don't get me wrong. She said, I love you. But the words, the feeling, they feel cold. They feel empty. They feel worthless. At this point, I just told her, I was just like, you can't play that I love you shit because I'm not going to fall for it. Because you want to say you love me, but look at your actions. Your actions are showing that you hate me, that you wish destruction on me. You know, I mean, it's been many times that she has already told me, I wish you were dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, what did I ever do to you for you to wish death on me? Mind you, I was a fucking teenager. And then she tried to kill me when I was a baby, but she tried to lie and flip the story to make it seem like my dad was the one that tried to kill me as a baby. It was her. She wanted me dead as a baby. So the fact that she wanted me dead as a baby, and then you're telling me that you never wanted me and blah, 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 blah. Well, bitch, I'm here. And I'm here to fucking stay until I am ready to go. And personally, I was ready to go a long fucking time ago. But crazy enough, you know, this is the reason why, like, how I end up, like, leaving religion and Jesus and the church and shit. Because realistically, you know how the Bible will tell you the keys to the kingdom of heaven are within you. So to me, if everything I need is within me, then all I gotta do is meditate and sit with myself, and I can easily talk to God inside of me, the God in me. This is my logic. You ain't gotta agree with it, whatever. So listening to, you know, the God in me, you know what I'm saying? That was the voice that was like, no. Or that I guess, I have a purpose, right? My purpose, or as I learn myself, because I'm still learning myself, and healing from all the bullshit with my mom. But going to the story, basically, like going through all of that and, you know, trying to like tell other family members and friends how my mom is, and hearing them say, well, that's just your mom. That is the number one thing that invalidates somebody who's trying to survive narcissistic abuse, domestic violence. You know what I'm saying? That undermines the abuse that I went through with somebody saying, well, that's your mom. So she was not good for my mental health, my emotional health. You know that you can legit have a broken heart and die from that shit. That is immense emotional turmoil. When you have a broken heart, or you have strong emotions on the inside and you don't express it, it is going to manifest as a physical ailment. You know, you're going to wonder why you got joint pain, arthritis, back problems, knee problems, headaches, IBS, a lot of spiritual problems, and mental and emotional pain. I'm gonna say that pain spiritually, because your spirit is being broken down, pain mentally because you're trying to make sense of the crazy making or whatever the fuck is going on. You're in a brain fog. You got cognitive dissonance going on. Just Google these damn words. In other words, it's just like confusion. Cognitive dissonance is like on one hand, my mom says, I hate you, you're a bitch, blah, 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 blah. But then on the other hand, she'll go buy me gifts and then say, I love you. So in my mind, I was confused. It's like, hold on, she just told me she hates me, blah, 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 but then she's buying me gifts and saying, I love you. It confused me because she was flippy floppy. She meant what she said when she said she hated me. She meant that shit. But to keep me in the washer machine and on the merry-go-round of abuse, She had to she knew she was pushing me to my breaking point. She knew this. And to keep me from going over that line, that's when she would retract and try to be nice, smile, and be all sweet, and suddenly out the blue, bitch, you don't cook. What the fuck you asking me what my favorite food is and wanting to cook all of a sudden and shit. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I'm just saying, doing nice shit out the fucking blue. And, you know, I was, you know, dealing with cognitive dissonance, brain fog, trying to figure out, because I could never be balanced. I could never have clarity because she was always keeping me off kilter, keeping me walking on eggshells, keeping me, you know, in a state of unbalance, in a state of anxiety. I know for sure that my body was always in high stress levels. And this is from a kid on up, y'all. I'm pretty sure that in 2017 till now, my nervous system has calmed down drastically. Like, people like that, like toxic people just in general, they don't have to be a narcissist, but just toxic people in general can create high stress levels. You know, they can affect your nervous system to where your nervous system is always in like overdrive. So when you finally get away from these people and you finally are able to relax, you don't even know how to relax. I remember the relief of moving across the fucking country away from everything and everybody I knew. I was scared to, you know, move to a different city where nobody knew my name. I didn't know nobody knew me. But I knew that I was starting and creating a new life for me. You're gonna run into toxic people anywhere you go. You cannot avoid these people, because these people, when they get exposed, all they do is leave the people who know them and go to a new group of people who don't know anything about them, and they just start their bullshit all over again with a new set of people. That's what these people do. That's what I like to call vagabonds. That's what I like to call, you know, that, like my cousin, when I kicked him out my house, I ain't heard shit from that nigga because I exposed his ass to family members, Facebook. I put the shit out there. He got exposed to neighbors. He was just exposed. I pantsed his ass, pulled his drawers down, ass out. Now you embarrassed. Oh well, you should have did right by paying your half of rent as a grown ass man, and you would have never end up embarrassed and homeless or whatever the fuck he's at. He could be dead in a ditch for all I know. I don't really care, because that's not my concern. He's grown. But a lot of shit could have been avoided had he did right. He didn't want to do right, so the consequences are on him. But I haven't heard from him. I don't know why family members are asking me, have you heard from him? No, I haven't, and I probably never in life will. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine by me. I'm cool with it. Because all he's doing is finding a whole bunch of new people that don't know the kind of person that he is, or they enable his behavior and support it. So of course he's gonna hang around those types of people. Me, I'm not gonna be an enabler, and I'm not supporting shit. You know, not over here. I'm not. I will call you out. And again, that's my throat chakra being wide open. I'm gonna call you out. I'm gonna speak my truth. The truth always hurts. But back to the suicide, you know, shit, right? So going through all the fucking abuse with my mom or whatever, and I'm pretty sure somebody could probably relate to it, because other than that, I don't know why I would be talking about this topic. I hope nobody freaking calls me.
Sorry, could you say that?
Nobody's talking to you, Siri. Can I put my, hold on, let me see if I can put my phone on D&D. Yeah, there we go. All right. I had to put my phone on D&D. I just found out do not disturb, because this is my first iPhone. So, all right, because I don't want nobody calling and interrupting this video. I was trying to go and keep it short, but fuck it, whatever. I like to tell stories, but it's very detailed, because at the end of the day, somebody out there might need to hear this. I could potentially save somebody's life. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just know that this message is in me to talk about right now. So I'm just gonna talk about it. You know, I feel like God put it on my heart to fucking talk about it. So I'm gonna talk about it. And like I said, it is a sensitive topic for me. But I understand it. I understand depression. I understand a lot of shit. And that's why I am where I'm at now. And that's also why, say, when people come to me for advice, whether they're younger than me or whether they're older than me or whether they're one of my peers, you know, I'm generally able to give generally good advice. Because 9 times out of 10, I've been there and I've experienced. I don't look anything like the shit that I've been fucking through. I don't look like it at all. And I refuse to look like I've been through the bullshit, you know? But anyways, so going through all this pain, right? When you're in pain and it's not even physical pain, but it manifests physically because you're going through pain mentally. You're going through pain emotionally. You're going through pain spiritually. You know, there wasn't a lot of verbiage on those types of pain. And when that shit hits you physically, you can go to the doctor and the doctor can check you out and tell you, you're 100% fine. You're healthy. I don't know why you feel these pains or this, that, and the third, but you know, all your organs are healthy. You know, you pass the test, you're good. Generally, if you go to the doctor and they're telling you that you're physically healthy, that means the pain that you feel or the problems you're having are now mental, emotional, and spiritual. And so, but basically, I'm, you know what, my mind is going a little faster than my lips. That's what I'm trying to slow it down. So basically, I was, I think 16. I had to been like sophomore or junior in high school, somewhere in there. And this one particular day, you know, I had been planning, you know, to commit suicide for a while. I actually tried, you know, to cut my wrist and shit, but I was like pussy. I was like, no, I don't want to cut my wrist because then I felt it'd be visible and shit. And then that's another thing, like, you know, going to school, teachers and shit, like, you know, it's hard to explain. Like, you're in pain, but you don't know how to express it. You know what I'm saying? You're also kind of like in fear because you know, like, this is just based on me when I was at my suicidal stage or whatever, that I want to off myself, but I don't want to say nothing because I don't want nobody to stop me neither, because if you stop me, I have to continue living with this pain and I don't know what to do or how to heal and get rid of this pain. Like, the pain, I understand it. I totally do, you know? And, damn, it's like a flashback in my mind. Like, I'm going back to when I was at that moment. Because, you know, I had a whole plan in my idea, how I was going to do it, what I wanted to do. I always played in my mind, like, would my mom cry to see me dead? Would she miss me? You know, because, again, she didn't already talk me into believing. Because I believed at that time that she isolated me, first off, from, you know, family. She could, if it wasn't for the law where your child has to go to school, I would have been in a worse position. And my friend probably wouldn't have been able to save me. That's what I would imagine. So, anyways, she couldn't control the interactions with my friends at school and shit. But she purposely kept me from family members who would be my allies to put her in her fucking place or to give me advice on how to, you know, deal with shit. But that's the thing. Anybody, like, family members knew who my mom was and how she was and shit like that. Me, I didn't know. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. You know, at that time, my biggest worries was, goddamn, who am I going to go to prom with? And, you know, teenage acne and hormones and shit. That was the primary fucking problem. I'm not thinking about all the other shit that I now realize was going on. But anyways, one particular day I went to school and my best friend, you know, she was just like, well, this is before she was my best friend. We were just real cool. And you know, I was just like going through school. It was just a regular fucking day, smiling, laughing, you know, because for those moments of time, those were small pockets of happiness that I actually had, because I knew that as soon as I would cross the threshold into my house with my mother, that energy was going to be gone. It was going to be nothing but her yelling at me, wanting to like beat me or abuse me for some fucking reason. And I'm about to go back into being miserable, unhappy, mad, or sad. You know? So those few glimpses of happiness, those smiles, those laughs, were like things that I would clutch onto, right? So I already told y'all, like, damn, I didn't think I was gonna be this damn sensitive about the topic, but I understand it. So, you know, but it's something that needs to be talked about, because apparently I basically just had a conversation with, you know, my niece, and she has a 2-year-old. So like I always told her, I didn't have anybody to walk me through what I was going through, but I'm going to be that person that she can go to when she's going through anything. I don't care what it is. It's not my job to judge you. You know, whatever decisions you make, I support it, but I'm going to let you know you stupid at the same time. You know, like, that's not wise, blah, 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 blah. But anyways, so this is part of the reason why this conversation came up as well. It's been kind of a topic between a few different people that have called me. So I was like, damn, this must just be a topic to talk about. But it's a sensitive topic. I'm going to state that because I feel myself getting all teary-eyed and shit. But anyways, for real, like, suicide and depression are like very serious shit. So my friend, you know, she was just like, hey, this one, and then it's crazy because this one particular day, she wanted me to stay after school. I don't ever stay after school, you know? So I'm like, shit, fuck it, I'll stay after school. Because I guess she could sense that I needed to talk or something. And not too many people really, I feel, would listen to me talk. I always felt ignored. If I wanted to talk about something, it's like they heard me to a degree, but they listened to reply versus listening to understand. I'll say that. So it's kind of like, you know, what's the point in talking? Nobody's gonna listen to me. I feel ignored. Whatever, you know, fuck it. So that particular day, she talked to me. We were after school or whatever, and somehow she just kept asking these questions like, how are you feeling? How are you doing? I've never had anybody care to ask me, how are you feeling? You feeling okay? You doing okay? You doing all right? You know what I'm saying? And to have somebody ask me that, it was a shock, but I broke down crying because I was like, I'm not feeling okay. Like, I legit, you know, me and her, we had a whole talk. And I kind of told her how I was feeling. And, you know, I told her, I was like, you're the first person to ever ask me how I feel and truly care about how I felt and truly sat there and listened. And all I can say is, like, from that day forward, she was like my best friend because she saved my life. Because when I went home, the plans I had, I canceled that shit. And I was like, that's nobody else other than God. But this goes back to the spiritual shit too, because I take that spiritual shit very serious. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. Being that the house that I grew up in, my mother's name was on, I guess the mortgage, the lease, the deed, whatever the fuck you want to call it. My mother's name was on it, all right? And because her name was on it, that was her house. And because darkness resides in her, those evil spirits, those evil entities that attached to her or are in her or whatever, they were affecting me spiritually. They were breaking me down mentally. They were affecting me emotionally. And I can say this because that's why I said the spiritual shit is fucking real, y'all. Like, I've experienced a lot of supernatural related shit, particularly dealing with my mother. Being out on my own, living in my own house, the supernatural shit I experienced living with my mom, I don't experience that shit in my own household. But let's go ahead and go into that. Or matter of fact, I'm probably gonna make a part 2 because I don't want these to be too long. I'm gonna go into part 2, so go listen to part 2. All right.